and welcome to my channel. This is Lisa with Lisa's Faith and Budget Planning channel. I'm excited to be here today. I'm excited to be here with you, getting into my weekly check-in and going over the numbers of what we spent this week. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I'm so excited to have you here. I'm enjoying all the conversations and everything that everybody is talking about, so that has been really awesome. I did want to point out a couple things. I do have a goal this year, and if you guys would like to help out by liking, subscribing, and commenting in the comments below, I would love to reach 1,000 subscribers. I'm not fully monetized, but I do have something called Super Thanks. And if you would like to contribute to my channel while I am, buying all the stuff and for my time and energy putting into the videos and things like that, and keeping you up with our daily life and how our thought process is and how we spend our money. If that helps and you want to contribute, that would be amazing. I would actually appreciate that very much. Okay, so here's the weekly check-in. I have it on 2 pages. I used to just keep it on 1, but I do a 5-week and I like everything spread out. And since I went from a 2-paycheck or 3-paycheck month to a 2-paycheck month, I actually had an extra page in my system. I can put my weekly check-in on 2 pages. So that's why I started doing that, because I have 6 categories I'd like to track. And I just did it a little bit different this year and I'm really enjoying it. It looks really cute and I'm having a lot of fun with it. So let's flip to the calendar here, and yeah, this is what we got. So I have let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 items. Last week was 14. This week is 10. I think we're doing good. I actually have 3 no spends, so that's very unusual for me today. I will confess, though, Saturday is a no spend day. I did spend on this day, and my son and I spent a lot of money. But it was planned, saved money that was in a separate account. It's my son's account, and I took him to a place, downtown Lexington here in Kentucky for Lexington Lexington Toy and Convention. So we met some voice actors and wrestlers. I got to meet 2 actors. You probably saw one of them in my community tab, or if you watch my reels on Instagram or my post on Instagram, I posted a picture of me and another actor. So I was having a lot of fun. It was just for one day. We only went for one entire day. So you won't see the transactions here, but at the end I'll show you what that looked like and where the money came from and stuff. So if you're interested in how I plan events like that, it was definitely a short one. I'm used to doing a 4-day convention and meeting like lots and lots of people and having lots of autographs for my son and I, but not this year. We went to a small one right down 45 minutes from our house, and it worked out perfect. So though it's a no spend, it's no spend with the family budget. It was a spend day for me and my son because we saved up money for it, like a little mini vacation. It's our thing. We love doing it. The first thing we're going to go over is the grocery household. It's the first thing I always go over. I do everything in the same order every week. That way I don't confuse myself. I list them the same over here. I list them the same here on this piece of paper, as well as in my paycheck to paychecks. I list them the same over here as well. So the first thing I have is grocery household. It's supposed to be light pink, but I printed the wrong color, and that's okay. But we know it's grocery household. So the first one I have is $164.53. So in this order, I picked up about 4 pounds of ground beef, 3 cases of root beer. My son likes root beer. They're expensive. They're like $7.49 a case, and they had them on sale for $5 and some change, and if you bought 3. So I went ahead and stocked up, and he'll probably be good for a few months with that. So I'm not too worried about that. But I didn't mind stocking up on that because it's definitely cheaper if I buy it in bulk. When it goes on sale, I try to do that. My son needed some hydrocortisone. I bought tea, the individual Milo sweet tea for my husband for lunches, and just other grocery items, snack items, meal items, water, cereal, creamer, steak, all the good stuff. So that whole thing was $164.53. I'm going to check that off and then check this off. Okay, so the next thing I have is Amazon, and this was a supplement for $8.29. I think I started a subscribe and save. I'm starting to do a lot of subscribe and saves for supplements, so I don't have to remember to get them, and they're a little bit cheaper, so I really do like that. And we use a lot of supplements between my husband and myself. He's 50, I'm 49. Yeah, so you need any help you can get with a lot of different things, and then my sons and their needs. So I like to order them on Amazon, and it's easier than getting them at the grocery store. The next thing I have is this 9461. It is actually a split. I did a split last week too. I'm surprised I've done two. But my Meijer grocery store is very similar to a Walmart. Not as big, but they have clothing and shoes departments and stuff like that, as well as electronics and toys, but they're smaller sections than what you would have at Walmart. But I spent $94.61, and I'm looking that up. And for this particular purchase, I was actually in the store. So $94.61 of this is, I'm trying out, I have type 2 diabetes as well as neuropathy in my hands and feet. So I'm trying some like protein and meal bars and stuff like that will not raise my blood sugar, and like Atkins and stuff like that. So, and they're not cheap. So I was buying a handful of those, as well as some sandwich lunch meat for my husband. He takes his lunch with him when he goes to work on the road and stuff like that. And then I bought some pasta sauce, and then I got home. I realized I didn't need it. I already had a jar in the fridge or in the pantry. I was like, oh no. So I spent $5. I didn't need to, but that's okay. We'll get to it eventually. Orange juice, apples. My husband loves those Honeycrisp apples at the store, and he has that with his lunch. And the ones we've gotten are delicious. They were amazing. Bread and just a few other items. So that's what we got there on that day. Just other stuff that I didn't get in this order here. And this order, you know, a good $30-$40 of it was actually ground beef, because it was 4 pounds. And I get the leanest meat possible, like 93.6 or 7 or whatever it is. That's as lean as I can get it. There's very little fat, and I hate dealing with grease and fat, and it's not good for you. So I've learned to cook with it. So there's that. And then I ordered on Amazon some liquid IV, as well as, and this is my order of liquid IV. I don't go through it as fast as my husband does, but I found sugar-free stuff is not easy for me. I cannot have artificial sweeteners. I cannot have diet sodas. I cannot have aspartame or NutraSweet or anything like that, because it makes me very sick. So I tried this sugar-free liquid or IV powder, and I have no reaction to it. And I am so thankful that there's something out there that I can take that's not causing a reaction for me. So I also got some sleep aids for my husband that he uses. I only buy these once a year, and it's a big bottle, and it lasts all year. So that'll be probably the only time I actually buy that. So that is our grocery household. I'll grab my calculator. Okay, I had to adjust my light. So it's always a hard part when you're filming and there's something reflective. So let's total this up, and I'll be right back. All right, so in grocery household, and I combined that category together. It's what we eat, it's what we need from the grocery store, supplements, bathroom supplies. It doesn't matter. All of it's under one category here. And I make sure the category is fully funded high at the beginning of the month, and we're really, and then go through each week and budget a little bit for each week. So we spent $328.18. which is really, really good, because I had more than that available. Now, restaurants, normally we only get on Friday or Friday-Saturday time period, but we have 3 restaurants this time. Move my calculator. And first my husband and I went on date night, and he loves this pizza place called Old Chicago. I think he just really likes the atmosphere, get a couple drinks, try different beers, things like that, and he really enjoys that. So we go to Old Chicago, and that was $50.64. We left a really good tip for our waitress. She was amazing, and had a really good time. And then my sons ordered their pizza and cheese sticks and paid delivery and tip for the driver. And that was $38.10. There we go. And then later in the week, Tuesday, I was not prepared for dinner for me and my husband. And he has been in a, I guess, a class all week for his job in Lexington. And he's been getting home later. So I didn't know what to fix or anything like that. And I just had an off day on this Tuesday. And I was running a bunch of errands and doing a lot of things. So we decided to do Buffalo Wild Wings and DoorDash that. And that was $45.14. And so that's going to put us a little bit over in our restaurants, but we're okay with it. Now keep in mind, all the funding for the entire month for spending is funded on the first of the month. So all the cash is sitting there. Even if I go over a little bit, I just adjust for the next week and try to stay within the budget as I go week to week and try not to go over. Sometimes circumstances happen and you kind of have to go with the flow. So that's what we did. So let's total this up. Okay, so we spent $133.88 for the week. Go ahead and write that down. There we go. And then we're going to move on to miscellaneous. So miscellaneous is this mint green color over here. The first thing was Shutterfly. Anytime my son and I go to these cons and get autographs and meet voice actors and wrestlers and comic book writers and stuff like that, or whoever is there that we want to see, they always allow you to take, for a fee, then you can take pictures and selfies with the individual. So that's what we do. And I always have a bunch of pictures. I don't know why I didn't put it with the budget for the con. I just didn't even think about it. I'm just used to getting it out of the miscellaneous budget. So I'm just going to leave it here. It's not a big deal. It was $24.31. It was a little higher than I normally would. Normally I just pay for shipping, but I ordered a 5x7, which wasn't free on Shutterfly, for one of my pictures. I got a picture with Shannon Doherty. It's the one I posted in the community tab. And she's one of my favorite actors growing up. I loved watching her and stuff like that. And hadn't seen her in a long time. And I just, she's just a big part of who I was when I was younger. High school and early 20s. So I just loved watching her. And so when she came into town, I didn't know if I was going to get her autograph till the day we went, but two of my son's picks on his list of getting autographs didn't show up. So we had plenty of money, and I'm like, well, those two you didn't get, I'm going to use that for mine. And he was like, sure. So he still got his money back, no big deal. But I spent my personal money, which you'll see in my Paycheck 1 closeout and my Paycheck 2 setup video coming up next. I used my personal money to buy 2 autographs at the show. So I'll talk about that another day. But that's what that was. I had pictures done with people, and my son did, and I just order them from Shutterfly and they send them in, and it's really cool. I'm excited to get those. The next thing I have is this $8.47. I've been telling my son, my youngest son, that I would buy new shoelaces for his boots, and not that he needed them, that they're really, when you buy work boots or you buy hiking boots, it's the round, thick, corded shoelaces, and he has trouble with those. Don't know why. Can't keep them tied, can't keep them tight. But if it's the flat, thinner ones, he's good with. So I bought some new shoelaces for his boots, or his hiking shoes, so he can tie them better. It's an autism thing. It's a dexterity thing. So there's nothing I can say about that. I'm excited for April very much. This $19 here, I spent on buying 2 Carter sleepers for 6 months, I think was a size, 6 months old size, and they are adorable. I can't wait to take them to Virginia because my friend is having her baby in April. So I'll be doing some traveling in Virginia, and I might have to rearrange my filming schedule and stuff like that. But I will keep you guys up to date and talk about what's going on. But I do plan to do some traveling in April, a lot of traveling in April. And I bought some baby stuff, so I'm really, really excited. I haven't gone too crazy on baby stuff. I've only bought like 2 sleepers, some pacifiers, and a couple bottle package. So just some simple stuff to kind of replace what she already has, because she has 2 girls. She's having a little boy now, and we're excited about that. And as a boy mom, oh my gosh, I just, all the feels of buying all the little boy clothes I used to like to buy and stuff. It's all coming back to me, and I'm like, I want to buy it all, but I know she has way too much. So I'm trying to pace myself and find out what she really needs, and which is diapers and things like that. So I want to stock her up some diapers, and I'm going to give her these little gift items. It's going to be cool. I'm really excited. So let's total all this up. 24.31 plus 8.47 plus 19. Now that I'm not using the miscellaneous category as like personal money, I am not spending that much out of it, which is really, really good. This was $51.78. So that's really, really good. Okay, so next, gas. We did not spend copay. We had no medical copays for prescriptions or doctor visits. And then unbudgeted, I have not spent anything in unbudgeted. The next thing we have is bills. I will do that later. Right now, we want to figure out how much money we've spent in our weekly check-in, and we're going to track that over here on this page, and we're going to kind of lay it like this and move these numbers over. So for the weekly check-in, I know I spent $328.18. Let's go ahead and take care of what the new balance is for week 3. So we started out with $401.51. This is what was left over and what I planned to budget from the previous week. Now, I have already pulled out my cheat sheet here with the weekly spending. I'm planning to show this more frequently so people aren't as confused on how I do things. So I plan a certain amount each week. This week, on week 3, the 15th through the 21st, I plan $362.50. It's usually the same amount every week, but this month, the last week, is a little bit different just because it's only 3 days. But that's what we have for groceries. And then whatever is left over from subtracting last week's grocery budget, or this week, week 2's grocery budget, I'm going to subtract out the $328.18, which leaves me $73.33. That is what I have left. And then I'm going to add to this what the new week is. So that is a $362. I don't know what I was thinking, and 50 cents. So my new budget balance is this $435.83. So I just keep moving the money forward. Whatever's left over in one week, I add it to that $362.50. And then whatever's left in the next week, I add another $362.50. And I just keep going unless I have a week that is short, then I will refer back to this to find out how much the difference is. So there's that. And we know what next week's, so I have plenty of grocery money for next week. We're good to go there. We have $114.06 in the budget that I planned for week 2 for restaurants. Obviously, I went over that, and I'm going to get my red pen here ready. And I'm going to subtract the, how much was restaurants? $133.88. There we go. And we're going to write $133.88. That's how much we actually spent. And we're going to come up with a negative balance, which means I have to borrow money from this week because I've already fully funded all the weeks for the entire month. So I got to make sure I spend less next week, or I have to decide by the end of the month if I'm going to go over in this category, how much is coming out of the buffer of the checking account, or how much I can borrow from another week that I didn't spend as much. Usually it's grocery household. Sometimes it could be miscellaneous, things like that. So combined, all these 6 categories financially, which is for the entire month, which is are these numbers right here, and this is what I have for the whole month. If combined for the whole month I don't go over $2,900, then I am good, and I'm really not taking out of the buffer checking account. I'm just kind of taking it out of these other categories. I do categories just because I want to make sure I'm not doing too much eating out or too much grocery shopping and household shopping, or too much miscellaneous and stuff like that. I want to keep it reined in to this amount. Okay, so now we're moving on to miscellaneous. And here I spent $51.78, and I had $57.44 minus $51.78. That's excellent. Having $5.66 left over. I still was within budget, and I am very happy with how miscellaneous is staying in budget. It's usually one of my tricky categories, but I think it's because I used it as my personal money, and I shouldn't have. I should have separated my personal money out. So, oh, I forgot to take the restaurants. So restaurants every week is $100. Backtrack here, we're going backwards. Restaurants is $100, and I forgot to subtract that $19.82. Okay, that leaves me $80.18. I'm going to tell you now, we probably will go over that, and we're going to be okay with it because I think we'll probably take it at the end of the month. We'll take some of that money out of grocery household, which is fine. Or I might, next month I might increase it a little bit. Next month is going to be tricky because I am traveling, and I got to figure out food and meals for my sons as well as my husband while I'm gone, because they're staying here in Kentucky while I'm doing a lot of traveling. So that's going to be a little tricky. We'll probably have to raise that category quite a bit, but we'll just reduce the grocery household because I won't be shopping nearly as much. Okay. Next, I have miscellaneous, and I've already figured out I have $5.66 left. So I've already done grocery household here. I'm going to highlight this, showing I'm done with these two. I'm doing miscellaneous here. That's $100. And I get to add the 5. I didn't even need to use a calculator. So that's $105.66 for miscellaneous. So we should be good there. We have 0 for gas, which leaves us $35.71 still. $35.71 plus gasoline, and that's $50 a week I plan for myself. That gives me $85. That'll be more than enough for me to get another tank of gas. I'm just below half, I think. I'd have to double check, but yeah, I'm going to have to get gas one more time this month before the end of the month, and I think I'll be good there. Again, my husband's not driving his personal vehicle nearly as much, so there's not a lot going on there. Copays. Let's see, miscellaneous gas copays, $20, and we did not spend any here. So that leaves $15. And so that makes copay here $35. No, 15. Plus 20 is 35. Yeah. Yes. I did not trust myself for a second there. And I never plan or budget anything from budgeted. Yeah. So that is that. Let's do zeros all the way across. This is the weekly check-in. I am done with the weekly check-in, and I know my budget for next week. If I combined all this for next week, 435.83 plus 80.18 plus 105.66 plus 85.71 plus 35. Yeah, 742 is going to be plenty for a week. Yeah, I'm happy with that. No problem. So I'm just going to highlight this, that we are done with week 3 setup, and we're good to go there. So now what I get to do is figure out how much we owe the credit card, because all of the spending that you see here went on the credit card, and I need to go to my budget calendar, which is here in the front of all of this. Anything highlighted in blue means that it went to the credit card. I'm not sure why I couldn't think. All right, the 8th through the 14th is what we're looking at. We get 1, 2, and that's it. So we only have 2 items. So those 2 items are $24.92 and $7.41. My HP Instant Ink actually went up a little bit. It's the first time it's gone up in probably several years. So I guess it was inflation and stuff like that. And yeah, that's where we're at there. Let's see, get back to the weekly check-in. All right, and go over here. All right, so now that we know I have the correct numbers here, and those are the items that were spent on the credit card for the bills, let's figure out how much the bills are going to be. So that's $24.92. I am right in a light. There we go. Plus $7.41. So that is a total of $32.33. Now I get to add all of these categories up. I'm going to move this out of the way and just kind of scoot all this over. And we're going to start here with the bills. I've already got that there, plus the $51.78, plus the $133.88, plus $328.18. There we go. So I owe the credit card here $546.17 for the spending for our family. So that is what we have going on here. Now I did say I would show the extra spending. So if you're nosy and want to know what I put on my credit card, I will show you. So here we go. This is how I track my credit card. I have highlighters that match the calendar here. So I highlight the same way as I do here. The bright green here is when I make a payment. And then there's a gray color that's not on that calendar that's spending. That only tells me that it was paid from a different account, not my checking account. What you see me track here on YouTube is just my checking account, the income that comes in and everything that goes out. If it went to a different account, but I still had access to pay the credit card with that account, then I usually mark it in gray just to let me know it was paid a different way, such as sinking funds. My sinking funds is part of a savings account that's not attached to the main operating account, which is my husband and I's joint checking account that we've had for 26 years. So that is what a lot of this gray is. So I have here 1, 2, 3 purchases during that Saturday that I said it was a no spend day. Here, this Saturday when we went to Lexington to go to LexCon, I think they call it, the convention and toy and convention, whatever, in Lexington. It's hard for me to say because I'm used to saying GalaxyCon and it just doesn't roll off the tongue as easy because we've gone to GalaxyCon for 7 years straight. This will be the first year we're not going, and I'm really sad about it. But it's too far and too expensive for right now. But we had 3 items here. We bought drinks for $8.80. We bought lunch for $30.32, and then we bought paid for what did we pay for here? Ice cream. We got ice cream. We always get one thing of ice cream before we leave that week when we go to these places. That was Lexington Con, and then I used a sinking fund. That's what SF stands for here. And this is my son's Legos for his birthday in June. Yes, it's March, and I buy it in March. But I want to have it way in advance so there's no delays. And I had the money built up in the sinking funds, and it's the only transaction in sinking funds I have this month, so I will be closing out sinking funds. I didn't think I was going to because I didn't think I was going to have any transactions, but I went ahead and bought birthday Lego kits at lego.com, and if you know Legos, they are very, very expensive. My son collects them, a room full of them. Yeah, it's a thing. So I don't know what we're going to do. But anyway, I got what he wanted that I couldn't get for Christmas, and yeah, that's what we're doing here. And then there's one other great item here, and this is a tithe to a missionary, and I will be talking about this tithe in my Paycheck 1 Closeout, Paycheck 2 Setup, which will be the video after this. So if you want to learn more about that, then check out that video, and I'll tell you all about it in that video because it's in my Paycheck 1 Closeout. So this is how I track my spending when it goes on the credit card, whether it's paid from another account or whether it's paid from the checking account. There's a few things here that I've done. I know I highlighted this one in yellow, which I'll talk about next time as well, but I meant to highlight it in gray, but I did not. So, but I know that I'm just going to write the word gray, and I'll know what I'm talking about. And it was just mathematically made it a lot easier for me. So there you go. This is how I do my spending. This is how I do my weekly check-in and keep an eye on the budget and keep an eye on the money to make sure we have what we need to spend and what we have room for what we want to spend. And that's what life is about, our needs and our wants, and how to steward money well and still enjoy life. So that is what I do. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more of my videos, please subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you guys next time. Have an amazing and blessed day. Bye.
As a young girl, it feels we're mine. We played hide and seek for hours, raised our shadows among the pines. So offshore, playful and free, without a care.